Thunder rolls, wind howls, and lightning cracks as the Mystery Machine drives up a mountain. This can only mean one thing. Danger awaits. Welcome to Mysteries in the Machine.
Meddling kids! I'm Charlie.
And I'm Ethan.
And I'm Blake.
Sorry. There's a person here? Oh my goodness! We didn't even notice! The Mystery Machine didn't open up this time! It's just, there's a person here! How'd you get in?
They teleported, I guess.
I broke in. I'm very good with the lockpicking. You know how it is.
Oh man. A real rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Can't believe it. Who are you, mysterious person in the corner?
I said I'm Blake, but maybe you didn't hear me.
My bad.
Hello. What's up?
I'm just here.
You're just here. Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you watch this episode of Scooby-Doo?
I did watch this episode of Scooby-Doo.
Wonderful.
I'm glad you did the homework.
I did do the homework. I almost forgot, but I did it.
Very good, very good. Blake, did you pick this, or did Charlie make you do this?
Charlie suggested it, and I agreed. And it was a good choice. I like this episode.
I specifically chose this one because Blake is obsessed with a certain character from Ace Attorney.
Not the Ace Attorney bullshit again.
It's always the Ace Attorney bullshit with me.
Especially.
But it's not just the Ace Attorney bullshit with me, because this character is not just from Ace Attorney, and his name is Sherlock Sholmes, and we love him!
But listen. Don Knotts is playing a character that is almost so similar.
Sherlock Sholmes. they are very similar. I see it. I see why you picked this episode for me, Charlie.
I was just like, I was rewatching it and I was like, oh my god, it's like the way that he like does the little like looking with his magnifying glass and like doing the little gremlin man things. I'm just like, this looks like Sherlock Sholmes, the man who eats soap. This looks like him.
He ate soap.
But why?
He said he thought it would help cleanse his insides. He was wrong.
That is not how you eat fiber to do that, not soap.
Well, in Sherlock's defense, he is from like the year 1900. I mean, he still should have known not to eat soap, but
yeah, I feel like soap was more dangerous back then than when the Ace Attorney games were made, but okay.
You know what's even funnier? Recently, Etsy has been recommending to me soaps that look like foods. Last night it recommended a hot dog shaped soap, and I was like, "What the hell?
Does it smell like hot dogs?"
I hope not.
I don't know. It didn't describe it. I literally looked. I'm like, "Is this? Does it smell something? Why is it a hot dog? Explain yourself." It did not explain itself.
If it's a soap that's shaped like something it's supposed to smell like, that I understand.
Yeah.
But I've seen like candles that look like bowls of oatmeal. Have y'all seen those? Or like bowls of Fruit Loops?
Why?
I don't know. Or like candles that look like cocktails. Like I've seen one that looks like a Shirley Temple.
You want these days.
You really can make anything you want.
If you have wax, essential oils, and a dream, you can make anything you want.
I just know that Shaggy, Scooby, and probably Sherlock Sholmes would eat that soap.
I guarantee they would. And then Shaggy and Scooby would burp bubbles after eating it. I don't know if Sherlock Sholmes would, but
when were hot dogs invented? Did they have hot dogs?
Ago.
When Herlock
Probably.
Sholmes was alive.
If every pork chop were perfect.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have hot dogs. We don't really know, but the closest we can get to think of, at least for the American hot dog, is 1867 in Coney Island, New York.
Okay, well, Herlock Sholmes could have eaten that then.
I would believe it was invented in New York. I'm not gonna lie. I would believe
It was Herlock. He invented it, and then he brought it back to England.
Yeah, the origins of the hot dog are disputed, but at least for American purposes, that's when it happened.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, so we watched Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner. Did Don Knotts come to dinner? It's still unclear.
Yeah, Charlie and I were talking about this before Ray got here. We think that Don Knotts actually did appear in this episode, regardless of whether it actually happened or not. Because Scooby points him out multiple times.
Like, is Don Knotts pretending to be Homer Pipsqueak? Or does Homer Pipsqueak just look like Don Knotts? It's the real question of the episode, I think.
Yeah.
Also, what kind of name is Homer Pipsqueak?
I have no idea, dude.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, Charlie, you said this might have been a real person? That is not true.
No, I meant, like... I didn't mean a real person, I just meant, like, it wasn't Don Knotts.
Oh, you mean, like, Homer Pipsqueak is a detective in the Scooby-Doo universe.
Yes. A real person in this universe that we are traversing.
Okay.
He just looks like Don Knotts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got the impression that it was Don Knotts who was just, like, really into the character.
The wiki says it's just a disguise, but...
Yeah, I think the wiki is also unclear as to whether it believes that it's Don Knotts or not as well.
I would tend to agree with that.
Okay. I feel like as we've also been doing recently, we keep being like, okay, so where do we know this person in media? Blake, have you seen Don Knotts in media before?
God, no.
Okay.
I had no idea
you have no idea who this man is at all?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I Googled him briefly.
Okay.
Have you seen the classic from Disney in 2006, Chicken Little?
Yes.
Then you have seen Don Knotts in something.
Okay.
He was the turkey.
Turkey Lurkey.
He didn't see him. I heard him.
You heard him, yes.
Oh, you didn't see him in this either. You just heard him.
That is also true.
Yeah, things I remember him from. Chicken Little, also famous classic from 2006, Air Buddies.
Didn't watch that one.
I've only seen the Air Bud. I haven't seen Air Bud, like the original Air Bud.
I remember watching Air Buddies as like a special thing that we did. We went to like school at night in our PJs. It was like this whole thing in elementary school that we got to go do. And we watched Air Buddies.
See, my school did that at the end of the school year, but I remember one of the years we watched Bolt.
Oh.
I don't remember the other ones. So
we did not do that. We watched movies during class and then we didn't finish them.
Valid.
Ethan, you'll also be happy to know that Don Knotts has met the Muppets.
Yeah, that's actually one of the first places I remember seeing him was on The Muppet Show.
Love that. Amazing. I also know him from Quints, the famous decom, and Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, because I've seen basically all of the Herbie movies.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen the Lindsay Lohan Herbie movies, so don't come for me.
I've seen the classic ones.
I haven't even seen those.
I love the Love Bug, okay? I have an obsession with him.
I'm glad you do.
You know, good for you, Charlie. That is for you. That is not for me.
It's for me. It's all for me. It's just a car and a dream.
Why do I feel like your mom got you started on Herbie? It seems like something
You're
she would
so
like.
correct, though. I blame her as well.
You hear that, Carrie? Charlie blames you for this.
Correct. Okay, Scooby-Doo. Let's talk about Scooby-Doo, my friends.
Scooby-Doo.
Yep. This may be a record. 12 whole minutes of bullshit before we get to the episode.
Is that longer or is that shorter?
Shorter. It's shorter.
Okay, let's bullshit
We
for
did
longer.
it.
Oh, God. All right. So
All
kind
right.
of as I said at the beginning, the mystery machine is driving on a mountain at night. There's lightning and thunder, and it's spooky. And they're lost. They're trying to get to this lodge that apparently is nowhere to be found.
How many episodes is that in a row that they've been lost? Is that 5? In fact,
I mean, they don't have GPS, so I don't blame them.
Okay, but that makes you wonder, how bad are the people in the car using the map? Because I feel like that's something you have to know.
I don't think they do use a map. They certainly don't draw one.
Well, there's their problem.
Sometimes there is a map, but it's very rarely. But I feel like that's why in modern media, Fred also just gets them lost, even when he has a GPS, which is amazing. I was recently watching the movie Abracadabra Do, where he has a fight with his GPS, specifically. Yeah, but I think that is, in fact, 5 for 5. This is the 5th episode. They have gotten lost 5 times and just happened upon whatever it is they happen upon.
Yeah.
So,
it's
amazing.
Like that sometimes.
Wonderful. Also, Blake, I don't think we told you this before recording, but we have a new thing that we're doing this season where every time there is some kind of comedic gag that is like just excessively cartoonish happens on screen, we count that as a shenanigan. So we have a shenanigan counter going.
The number to beat is 24, and I think this episode has that beat pretty handily.
Yeah. I mean, this whole episode in itself is a shenanigan, as Ethan was telling me before.
Yep, I did say that.
Yeah, I think that would be accurate.
It's all a fucking prank! I love it. Okay, so we're all just like terrified of where the fuck we are and what the fuck is happening. Daphne thinks we're gonna get stuck in a typhoon, and Velma's like, no, more likely it's a flash flood, which makes us all feel so much better.
Yeah. Not helping.
We've heard of these weather phenomenon.
Yeah. So they roll up to this gate of this mansion, and Shaggy's like, I don't like that.
It says Moody Manor, which, you know, it's named after Captain Moody, but also, like, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, they could have come up with a better name for it, TBH. If my name was Moody.
It is his last name, and I don't think he really cared that much.
Fair. So, I love how we just go all around, like, nobody wants to go in there, nobody wants to go in, and then Velma's just like, whatever, guys, a gate is a gate. We're going in. Well,
but she also proves our theory that she's jacked by just pushing the fucking gate over.
Yeah, it just falls over. It's fine.
He just destroys that shit.
Like I was like, oh, there's locks on the gate, and then she's like, nope, never mind. It's just gone.
Yeah, I also feel like this is one thing with Velma, is that sometimes she just has like zero fear. And in this episode, she exhibits both so much fear and zero fear at different points in time. And I just, I love it. I love when it happens, when she just, it's like, so much logic, like, it's a gate, guys. Just open it.
Who cares? Yeah.
I guess the mystery machine gets a flat tire or something as they go down the driveway.
No, the tree fell over.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's not actually super easy to see in the scene.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's not clear. I just got it from the dialogue and, like, further events.
Yeah, because then Scooby's, like, sitting on it. But
that's right, okay.
Yeah, Scooby sees the tree stand up and then imitates it.
Yeah, is this our first shenanigan? Where the tree just stands up?
I think
what was up with that? Was Don not in the tree?
Yes, he was in fact in the tree. I don't think the tree was real.
It's like the person inside the cactus in one of the earlier episodes.
Oh my god. I'm not over the cactus, okay?
I love the cactus.
The only good thing about that episode was the cactus.
Correct.
So yeah, the tree stands up, and then suddenly, a man is behind it. A creepy little man.
A gremlin man.
The gremlin man. Truly the most gremlin. This is the first disguise that we see from Don Knotts, and he's just... he's wearing like a hunting jacket, and he's got a big beard on, and then
I think he's
every
supposed
so
to be
often,
a lumberjack, right? Like something like
maybe?
that?
Yeah.
He's either a lumberjack or a hunter. I can't really tell.
Some vague woodsman type.
I figured lumberjack is again like falling over a tree. Yeah.
Right.
I think this is our second shenanigan where he, like, twice he sneezes and his entire, like, hair and hat and everything, like, just comes off.
Including the eyebrows, I might add.
I love it so much.
It's great. He's so cartoonish, and I love that for him.
And then he's just, like, following them, and like, the music is going, and then for some reason, the gang is, like, looking all around as if they can see this man, but they cannot, very clearly.
No, they can't. Only Scooby can see this man.
Yeah.
At this point.
I'm going to count Scooby arguing with the owl as a shenanigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So Scooby sees one of the times where everything comes off, all the makeup, and he's like, oh my god, it's Don Knotts. So we're like, Don Knotts? He would never be here. No way. And, oh my goodness, the amount of times we gaslight Scooby, I think gaslighting Scooby
kidding.
needs to go on the,
I'll put it on the bingo card.
Yeah, the bingo card. Just like, Scooby is scared of something, everyone gaslights him into thinking it's fine. His dog has anxiety.
He does.
Alright, and then we finally come up to the house. It's been so long, but we're finally here. It's just a big place, and Don Knotts is also here.
Still acting like a gremlin, as he does.
Yeah. The door opens by itself. Fred's like, maybe it's electric. And Shaggy, yeah, we'll get a big shock on the other side.
Yeah.
Did they not have automatic doors at like grocery stores in the 70s?
I don't know. I feel like those are more recent than people realize, but I'm not sure.
When were automatic doors invented?
Because, like, you know, like
1931,
there's the 60s, and they did really because, like, I thought in Star Trek they didn't have the automatic doors working; they just had people like pulling the doors behind the scenes. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, 1931, but the more modern ones were developed in 1954.
They became more commonplace in the 1960s.
Okay, so in theory, maybe.
Yeah, so the door closes and locks right behind them. So, let's see if anyone's home, let's see what's going on. And then we go back to Don Knotts, and he's doing his makeup thing. And you gotta love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, I love his little room.
The makeup that just transforms his entire face. Yeah.
Listen, I'm putting this...
Every time he does it?
Every time he does it, it's going on the shenanigans, because this is pure shenaniganery, is what this is.
Oh, absolutely. The gang sees a photo of Captain Moody on the wall, and they're like, maybe this is the guy who owns the mansion. Who's to say? Also, he looks kind of creepy in that photo. Not gonna lie. So...
It happens.
It's just a ship's captain who's looking really angry. And then, out of the woodwork, quite literally, comes Featherstone, the butler, who is, in fact, Don Knotts. He's like, oh, we've been expecting you, you know? And he's got the voice, he's got, like, the demeanor and butler everything. Outfit.
The man has range. I'll give him that.
Seriously. It's wonderful.
He was having such a good time.
And he's talking circles around them. They're just like, we just want to ask for directions. And he's just like, oh, we've been expecting you. All of this. The captain's friend is here. And I'll tell him that you're here. Okay? Cool.
And that's when he identifies all of them as, like, the nieces and nephews, right? Or
that's
later.
When the other guy comes in.
Okay.
But first, I think we try to escape. So this is when we find out that the doors are locked. Several doors are locked.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaggy tries to pull on a door that is a push door, which...
Relatable.
Yeah. I did this recently, so...
I think I did this yesterday.
Abby took me to school with her, And I did this on a door, and I was just like, is the door locked? And I looked, like, around the room, and I'm just like, I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. And then I realized it's a push door, and I'm like, I could never come to this school again.
Fun fact, in most public buildings, the doors always open outwards, like, towards the exit, so that if there is, in the event of a fire, people don't get, like, trapped by the doors.
That makes sense. And I think in most houses, the front door opens inward for most houses, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, houses are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is my fun fact that is definitely true.
Yeah,
sure.
in their attempt to go up some stairs, Fred, Daphne, and Velma find the stairs have turned into a slide, which if I had a nickel for every time that's happened in a Scooby-Doo episode, I would have 2 nickels. Which is not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
I gotta wonder, did Don Knotts make that staircase like that? Like...
The question is, what is Don Knotts and what is, like, the actual villain of the episode?
Yeah.
Because, like...
Don Knotts is a cryptid. He's a cryptid is what he is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the out of context quote for the episode. Don Knotts is a cryptid. So I think that the door being a push door, that's a shenanigan, and then the slide stairs is also a shenanigan.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we can't give up hope. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Let's look for a secret passage, yo. We can do it. It'll be great.
I love how they're like, instead of let's look for a way out, they're like, let's look for a secret passage, because that will inevitably lead to a way out. It's like, okay, sure.
I mean, the thing is, like, it appears that all of their exits are locked in some way.
Yeah, we gotta figure out some way to get out of here. If it's a secret passage that leads us somehow outside, it'll work, okay? So everybody goes to their different corners of the room, and they start looking around. Shaggy moves a chair that just has dust, just a giant dust pile underneath it. Scooby sneezes, and he finds the quote-unquote secret passage, which is the fireplace.
Yeah, the chimney.
Yeah.
That's really
he's like, oh, I have to tell everybody, I found it! And he just pats all of them on the shoulder, like, secret passage! And then they're just like, we're looking, Scooby.
We're looking.
Like, stop bothering us. We're trying.
I'm counting Scooby sneezing himself into the fireplace as a shenanigan.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then he does the same thing to Shaggy, because, like, nobody's listening to him, so he just...
shows Shaggy's face in the dust, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so that reminded me of, like, I don't know if you all have ever done this, but when you're training puppies to, like, not poop in certain places, some people will shove the dog's face into the poop.
Oh.
To make them not do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I've never done that. I know that happens. I've never done it myself.
Yeah. No, that doesn't seem the right way to do things.
That's mean. That's so mean.
Yeah, it's not nice.
No. I don't like it. But yeah, so Shaggy sees the secret passage, and then we're like, okay, cool. I mean, it's just a fireplace. So Scooby has to climb it, because he's the one who found it. And instead, there's, like, is it a vulture? That's just, like...
yeah, it's some kind of bird.
It's some bird. It's
unclear.
Like
to me.
That apparently has a nest, like, on top there, so he cannot go all the way up without, angering this bird. But thankfully, he, like, moves one of the, like, the what are they, like, pillars of the fireplace or whatever? Yeah. And, hey, look! The bookcase opened, and there's a secret passage. We found it, guys. Finally, we did it.
Is that not also a shenanigan? I'm just saying. Falling.
Charlie, what do you think?
On the thing.
Oh yeah, just how he just, like, happened to do it, and then it closes as after everybody's got in, and he's just like, hey, that's not nice. I want to get into. Mm-hmm. So, we're going down this creepy hallway. There's scary little spiders.
There sure are.
Yeah,
listen, I don't like spiders. I understand that they're valuable and that they eat bugs, and that's fine, but I don't want them near me.
Yeah.
Saw a spider on the wall the other day. I tried to capture it, and it just ran behind the fridge, and I was like, okay.
Well,
And that's where you're
spider's
supposed to
gone
be
now.
anyway.
Yeah.
At one point, Fred knocks on, like, the wall, and the wall knocks back. That's a shenanigan, because that should not happen.
That's just Don Knotts behind the wall doing the 2 bits. That's what he did.
Once again, I have the question. Is it Don Knotts, or is it the actual villain? I don't know. Who is to say? But then they come to the end of the hallway. It's like, where do we go? There's no way out. And the floor opens up, and now we're back in the same fucking room that we were before.
Did they ever go up? Or, like, did I miss that? Like,
we never saw them go up.
No. We were on the same level, it appeared, at least when they went in. I don't know. It's confusing.
It's fine. It's fine.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. But as soon as we come back out of it, now we see Phineas Folksel, first mate to Captain Moody, and he's just like, oh, you're the nieces and nephews of Captain Moody. And he identifies them all, like, by name. He's like, Velma, you're Little Meg. Fred, you're Ronald. Daphne, you're Cynthia. And then he's like, Shaggy, you're the spitting image of Captain Moody himself. And then he says that Scooby is Max, who used to be a dachshund.
Yeah, that was really funny.
A dachshund. God.
I love that. Bruh. I don't think that's how that works.
Is this more shenaniganery?
Everything with this man is a shenanigan because he's just not listening to them.
Yeah.
He's just ignoring everything they say because he does not trust.
No, never did.
So yeah, I mean, he's saying that there's, like, a storm outside. You want to be safe inside. They're like, yeah, okay, fine. But also, we don't trust this man. We don't know what the heck's going on. We're not related to this captain dude. But he's gonna feed them, so everything's good.
Food.
Well, that's nice.
Food. The food... I just love the sequence with the food. I also count
the
this
cards.
as a shenanigan.
They're like, it's like meat, but it's like cards.
It's on the count. It's going on the count. I
love that.
Everything in this episode could go on the count in theory.
In theory. It's infinite.
Like, I don't know if it's like salami or like dried beef or something. Because there's no way meat should be able to do that.
Unnamed meat.
Yes,
mystery meat, as they say.
The roast beast, if you will.
Yes,
from
correct.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Mm-hmm. But none of them want to eat the food. I mean, Scooby and Shaggy do, but none of them will eat the food because they're like, it's probably poisoned. Woo! So they just don't eat the food, which should be raising some kind of alarm for Don Knotts.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever. No. And he's like, okay, you're filled. I'm gonna ring the maid so she can show you to your rooms. I'll stand first watch. Goodbye.
More shenaniganery.
Yeah.
Now we're transforming into the maid.
Yeah, he's finally doing drag.
Hell yeah.
Slay Don. And Inga Smorgasbord, great drag name. I gotta say. Great drag name.
I do think he needs better drag makeup. Like,
oh yeah, because it's basically just him with fake eyelashes.
Made up.
I did like the maid though. I thought she was my favorite disguise of the night.
Yeah.
I loved her weird. I don't know what accent that's supposed to be, but it was an accent. It was good.
Vaguely,
Swedish?
Yeah, vaguely
European?
And this is where the kids are like, huh, maybe the butler and Phineas are related? Maybe the maid and Phineas are related? I don't know. But I don't know. What's going on here? So the stairs work this time.
Thank God.
We go up to our rooms. I think this might be like the second time we've officially seen Velma and Daphne together in a room, and then Shaggy and Freddy and Scooby together in a room. Gay.
Listen.
Gay.
Yeah. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I think the only other time we've seen it so far is A Night of Fright is No Delight.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. But finally we get the boyfriends and the girlfriends together.
Where they belong.
Yeah. And of course Inga's like, "Oh, you can ring the bell for if you ever need me in the night. Cool. Bye." And we're all so scared, as we should be, in this terrifying house.
Yeah.
There's just a cuckoo clock goes off, and Shaggy and Scooby are just so terrified of it that they send Fred flying. This poor guy.
Yeah, he flies so far up before he hits the top of the bed.
But the fact that he's still, like, holding a book and reading while he's flying up, he's like, whatever, guys.
Cool as a fucking cucumber, that guy.
I would count that as a shenanigan, personally, but...
It's going on the counter, it's fine.
You can always say no to me, anytime.
Charlie, I told you this while I was watching the episode. This whole thing is a shenanigan. I'm not going to say no to you.
And then, what does Fred do? He's like, "Oh, you can take your mind off things by reading. It'll be great, guys." And so he hands Shaggy the book, which is like, it's a fucking scary book.
To tell in the dark.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I used to read that book every Halloween in elementary school. It was great.
I love it so much. And then, finally, they're not scared anymore. Everything is okay. So now we're hungry. Let's go down and grab some food.
Yeah, they skipped dinner.
Yeah, they didn't eat anything because it was poisoned.
So let's get the clearly not poisoned food. And
obviously.
Because there's 3 other people in this house, supposedly. So somebody's got to eat, right? So as they're like, we're going to go down and get some food, Fred's going to stay there. And then the girls are also like, we're all also hungry. We want to go and get food. I love Velma being like, "Oh, Groovy, can you get me like this thing and this thing and this thing, please, Daphne? Thank you." And Daphne's like, "Yeah, if you're here when I get back."
Yeah.
Just casually.
That's
her
a cute little sequence, yeah.
Listen.
She's like, "I didn't want to go by myself. You don't want to be by yourself. Let's hold hands and walk down the hallway."
Gay.
Exactly. So, Shaggy and Scooby are going down the hallway. Daphne and Velma are going down the hallway. They're basically saying the same things. Neither one of them knows that the other is there, and it's amazing.
This is a shenanigan.
This is a shenanigan.
Once again.
It fully, completely, like, Velma goes on a loose floorboard. It scares Scooby and Shaggy. They go behind a curtain. And then Velma and Daphne hear them shivering, and they also go behind the curtain, and then they all scream like, "Oh no, there's somebody else there!" Because they all see the eyes.
And they run in opposite directions.
Yeah.
Velma and Daphne are like, "We're not hungry anymore."
Yeah, they don't have the munchies, they're fine. Shaggy and Scooby, the curtain comes down, they see a mirror, and they're like, "Oh, we just were afraid of ourselves. That's fine. We're still hungry. Let's go eat food." I love it. I love it so much.
But then there appears to be some sort of wailing noise. Which again, like Charlie's been saying, I don't know if that's Don Knotts or the villain.
Like, I have theories. Okay, so clearly, whatever is in the suit of armor is not Don Knotts, I don't think.
No, that's not him.
And I think the first time that we see, like, the ghost, the moaning ghost, when it doesn't look like Captain Moody, I think that might be the bad guys.
Okay.
When it doesn't look like Captain Moody, I think it's the bad guy. But when it looks like Captain Moody, it's clearly Don Knotts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point, it, like, just transitions between the two, and it's very strange. So.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Okay, but this whole sequence is just like, "Oh no, it's your stomach, Scooby. Can you pipe that down?" And then the candle blows out because they're holding a candle because they can't see anything, it's dark, and then it blows on again because of this fucking suit of armor.
I guess he had like a match or something.
Guess.
Unclear. And
Who
then
knows?
the suit of armor pats Scooby on the head and subsequently disappears when Scooby's like, oh my god, the suit of armor, pat me on the head. Shaggy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? There was no suit of armor. Gaslighting.
They just never believe Scooby. It's so
That's
sad.
at least one shenanigan fully.
It's either one or two. Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I said everything with the suit of armor is one, but if you want to count those as two separate things, we can do that too.
The candle and then the patting on the head. Those are two.
Okay, those are two. Got it.
Yeah. So then we finally see the moaning ghost. Just as
Yes.
Scooby and Shaggy finally make it to make their wonderful sandwiches, which are
Something.
Sure, something.
certainly something. We have like peanut butter, we have cheese, we have, I think, jelly, and
Some sort of jelly,
whatever
like
the mystery
strawberry
meat
jelly?
is.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's salami. I don't actually know that for sure, but
And then a banana on top.
At least
that's
for
the worst.
Scooby.
That's the worst part of the sandwich, because bananas are fucking gross.
Well, they don't even peel it. It's just a banana.
No, even without that, gross. I just don't like bananas.
But surely it is worse without with the peel on.
Oh, I'm sure it is worse. Then we're gonna ignore the fact that peanuts literally upset my stomach. Oh well.
Yeah, we can ignore that part. I think the sandwiches are a shenanigan because of how ridiculous it is when Shaggy makes it. They make them like their houses, like, oh, like, we make this story, and then we just repeat, and then everything goes in the attic. It's a whole sequence, and then suddenly the ghost is there. And then the sandwiches are floating in midair.
Yep.
And then they leave.
Yep. So Scooby gets in, locks the door. He remembers, wait, Shaggy's behind me, unlocks the door. Shaggy barrels through the door, slams Scooby against the wall, and they do the thing in cartoons where they essentially become flat if they're smushed up against something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's a shenanigan. And now we're in the bed, we are shivering once again. We saw a ghost. Whose ghost? No one. It didn't have a face. It's fucking scary. I mean, it kind of is. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then the ghost appears out of nowhere because there's so many secret passageways in this house. So they go into the girls' room, all three of them. And then we hide in the closet.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can live your authentic self. It's okay.
Someone was gonna make that joke. I'm glad it was someone that was not me. It's fine.
So, of course, we hide in the closet, and then suddenly, the ghost is also in the fucking closet!
But then they all go out of the closet, so good for the ghost for owning themselves and being authentic.
And then suddenly the ghost turns into Don Knotts in a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I lose the plot a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
But, then we get to the best part of the fucking episode. Ethan, you have to agree with me, right?
Oh, I do. 110%. Blake,
I told you it was coming.
Blake, what you don't know is that one of my favorite Scooby-Doo shenanigans, at least from the more recent series, is the doors gags.
Oh,
where they're
yeah, I
just
love
running
the doors
in and out
gag.
of
It's
doors in a hallway.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
No rhyme or reason
They're
to it
just
at
doors.
all. This is the first documented instance of this happening. We've gotten hints at it in previous episodes, but this is the first honest-to-God door gag in Scooby-Doo. I
Like-
fucking love it.
Hell
The first
yeah.
proper
So glad I
one
could
where
be
we
here
have
for this moment.
like a hallway of several different doors. We go through it, like we're behind the guy, we're in front of the guy, and it's like, wait a second, goes through the other door, and like there's no possible way that you can go through one door and end up through the other thing, and it's wonderful.
It's great.
everything.
It's great.
It is on the shenanigan.
The music is helping. everything
It's
too.
It's no I'm in love with an ostrich, but it's pretty good.
True. Nothing can beat that song.
True.
Nothing ever. Okay, so it's even how the doors close and like make like the whole like noise and everything. That even makes it better too to me. I just perfect. Peak. Everything. Amazing.
No notes.
But then Don Knotts is like, this is getting ridiculous, guys. I can't anymore. So he pulls out a whistle and is like, okay, stop. The guilty must die. Yada yada.
And they're like, guilty?
Yeah, we're still confused on what the heck that means. So we run into the library, I think.
I don't know. We're barricading the door.
We are.
It appears to be a library.
Is barricading the door on the bingo card? It should be.
I'll put it there. I don't think it is.
Well, it's one of my other favorite things that Shaggy and Scooby will do.
Do I need to add that it doesn't work, or does that matter?
I mean, I feel like that's a given as well. Barricading a door and it doesn't do anything to help.
Yeah.
But Freddy in this episode is like so bookish for some reason. He's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna read a book at a time like this to see if we can help make the ghost go away. How do you make a ghost go away? It's already dead. You make it vanish. And then Freddy's gone.
Revolving bookshelf. Like that goddamn wall from A Tiki Scare is No Fair.
My favorite. Okay. But
that's the best part of that episode, and the only part that I actually like. So
the only part that matters. So Freddy vanishes, and the ghost appears, and it's the weird in between ghost and Don Knott's ghost thing that's been happening, and then suddenly he backs up a little bit, and then he goes toward another revolving thing that takes off Don Knott's wig as Freddy appears, and so the ghost runs away.
Mm-hmm.
Now this
like,
this might actually just be Don Knotts at this point.
This point, it is definitely Don Knotts.
Yeah,
because it's wearing a wig, and we figured out that ghosts don't wear wigs. You don't know what the ghost is wearing. Ghosts can wear drag too, guys.
The hard thing is to find drag makeup for a ghost.
True,
things don't stick to them.
You gotta find something that matches their skin tone when they don't have skin.
Has to be transparent.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So they're all like, oh yeah, like the ghost reminded me of Phineas. Phineas reminds me of the butler, and the butler reminds me of the maid. Blah, 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 blah. And so we're gonna call up the maid with the little ringing bell. And so poor Don Knotts is now so confused, apparently. He's thrown off because he didn't think they would call for help. And I love how he just like throws the stuff on. It somehow works, but he turns into the butler when they called for the maid. And then he goes away and he comes back just with the maid hair on the butler's outfit. It's like, who the fuck are you, sir?
Gender.
Listen.
Yeah, Charlie's gender is whatever the fuck Don Knotts is doing.
This is correct, honestly. New gender unlocked. Whatever the heck Don Knotts is doing in this episode. Yeah, so that shenanigan, whatever the heck was going on there. And now, we find out the actual plot of the episode only 30 minutes in.
Only 30 minutes in.
Of a 43-minute episode.
And this, Ray, is why you are here, because of what happens next.
Yes.
Yeah, this man is like, hi, I'm actually Homer Pipsqueak, world-famous Private Eye. He's a detective, actually, and now he's got a Sherlock Holmes outfit.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Amazing.
I think Sherlock Holmes would do that.
Does Sherlock Holmes dress like this?
It's somewhat like it's not the same outfit, but he has this. He has the deerstalker hat.
Yeah.
Does he? Yeah.
Doesn't he? I think he does.
I'm gonna look up a picture of this man.
Yeah, you can look up a picture of Sherlock Holmes. You will understand.
So the fun thing about Sherlock Holmes is that he's just supposed to be Sherlock Holmes. Like, just straight up supposed to be.
This is okay. I honestly was not expecting him to be this hot.
He's so hot, but no. So in the Japanese version, he's just Sherlock Holmes. When they translated it to English, they were like, "Oh, well, copyright won't let us have Sherlock Holmes," which is ridiculous. By the way, they released it in like 2021 in English, but
yeah.
My theory is that they knew Sherlock Holmes was a really funny name, and they were like, let's use the copyright thing as an excuse. Because, like, there were, like, still, like, a few, like, Sherlock Holmes stories under copyright law, but not a lot. And, like, realistically, nothing would have been done to them.
What is more Ace Attorney than Sherlock Holmes?
What is more Ace Attorney than Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes looks like if Sherlock Holmes went steampunk, is what he looks like to me.
Well, that's kind of like the whole vibe of the game, though.
Okay,
that's the whole vibe of the Great Ace Attorney, which is the game that he's from. It's very.
If you look up Sherlock Holmes like vest, you'll see him without the coat on. Which he's even hotter that way. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
Oh my god, the gayest.
Because I'm also seeing pictures of Henry Cavill, and now I am flustered.
Oh my goodness. Henry Cavill could never be Sherlock Holmes.
No, he's Sherlock Holmes in the Enola Holmes movie
correct.
that Netflix did.
Yeah,
Which got Netflix sued for copyright, but they did not win that. The Sherlock Holmes, Conan Doyle estate or whatever, they did not win.
Yeah.
But that was like the whole thing is like, they're like, Sherlock Holmes respects women too much in Enola Holmes, and that was their like case, I think.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Because they're like, that only happens in the later few stories, and it's like, okay.
He's not allowed to respect women. Of course.
I'm extremely oversimplifying, but yes, that was their argument, I think.
Yeah, it's a legal case. I mean, I don't really know how to make heads or tails of that, but
yeah. Ridiculous.
Anyway, we have Homer Pipsqueak.
We have him. He is the most gremlin-y gremlin I've ever seen, and they're trying to explain, hey, we are not related to Captain Moody whatsoever. And he's like, but the captain's gone. I can't confirm nor deny this. And also, if I'm wrong about that, then I have to back up. And you're not even allowed out if I have to back up. So I need to figure out this mystery. Guys, what the heck's going on? Where is Captain Moody? What did you do to him? But they have no idea. They're just here. So we have to find the captain.
They're queer, and they have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is where he does the thing with the magnifying glass. He goes like,
he walks on air for a little bit. It's fine.
So fucking gremlin mode, and I love him for it.
He's amazing. He's everything. He's wonderful. Okay, so he received a phone call from Captain Moody that something was going to happen. He invited his nieces and nephews up for a dinner, and apparently this man is just worth so much money that, each of them is going to earn a fourth of it when he dies or something happens to him. Mm-hmm. So we've entered Knives Out. This is Knives Out with Sherlock Holmes and Scooby-Doo shenanigans for 30 minutes before that.
Correct.
So it's so many things in one. I love it. I love how this man is just like, oh yeah, I never miss a trick. Not whatsoever. Ha ha ha. And then, like, guy in the suit of armor just sends them going down into the basement or something.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the basement.
Yeah. The secret doors and tunnels are just, like, worse than termites, apparently. It's just so many things.
That's just what happens with old spooky houses. They just have so much going on.
Secret tunnels.
Secret tunnel. Yeah. So this gremlin man is looking anywhere that he can for Captain Moody or anything. But he's like, he's got to be still here because there's no sign of a struggle. I mean, do we believe that?
Is there no sign of a struggle? I mean, look at this house. Like,
well, he's clearly not struggling financially.
yeah.
You know what? With everything being so covered in dust, I would assume you would be able to tell,
Probably.
like, footprints and otherwise,
I guess.
what happened to him. Probably.
Yeah.
So, the kids are like, maybe we can help. Maybe, or maybe you don't need help. And he accepts their help anyway. So, he sends everybody to go a certain place. Well, he sends the girls to the cemetery, the boys to the mine, and Scooby is like, but what about me? What about me? Hello, I'm still here. And Homer's like, oh, I give you some paperwork, maybe? Or, oh wait, you're a dog. Bloodhound. There we go. We're using Scooby once again to sniff something out, which probably could go in the bingo card as well. Because sometimes we're just like, he's a dog, therefore he can sniff out the thing.
Yeah.
And this is a whole shenanigan sequence where Scooby's like,
oh,
I'm so good at sniffing things. I can stick to the thing like glue. I'm so great at this. So, this is his assignment. And he has to sniff Captain Moody's socks that he wore the day before he vanished. Which, how did this man know that it was these specific socks?
He just went to the laundry basket and was like, yes, socks.
He went on a bit of a raid.
Apparently. A panty raid.
I'm glad somebody said it that was not me.
Okay, so Scooby sniffs out the socks, and guess what? He finds a whole drawer of the socks. We have concluded said panty raid, and we have to find the actual captain and not his fucking socks.
Listen, Scooby never said he was good at what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it. He found the smell. He was correct.
Yeah.
He did, but he found the wrong thing.
Yeah. So we go to the girls. They're in the cemetery. They're not having a fun time. They're just scared out of their minds. The owls are scaring them. It's so bad. And then we go to the guys, and they split up further because you got stuck with Fred. He's going to say split up and look for clues.
Yeah.
So Shaggy is going on like this little, like, what is it called? Like the little
minecart track.
Yes, yeah. The track. I forgot the word. He's going out on the track, searching for the thing, and he sees a ghost, and he's like, wait, this is just Mr. Pipsqueak. It's fine.
He's like, I got this. I know what's going on.
Everything is fine. I think this ghost does look different, though, compared to...
It does.
Yeah.
The other one. So, and of course, he runs into Homer Pipsqueak and Scooby walking towards the mine. While he's with the ghost, he's like, shit, fuck, okay, we're getting away. And then they run into Freddy, who also was walking with the ghost. So there's two ghosts, not including the disguise from before.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everybody is running. We've run into the whole gang, running into the house. And now Homer Pipsqueak is inside the suit of armor and sending them into the basement. Okay, we got away. Something is wrong here. We have two ghosts of Captain Moody and no actual Captain Moody. What is happening? But guess what? They were leading them away from the mine, and Scooby was going towards the mine. With his nose. Clearly, there's something there. Why does this man have his own mine? This is my other question.
Isn't he supposed to be like a ship captain?
Listen, here's the thing. He made money from doing whatever he did on the boat. He bought the mine for, I'm going to go full finance bro, diversifying his portfolio.
Yeah, this man is a finance bro.
Yeah, he is. Or at least he knows someone who is.
So, they find him tied up in the mine. And, of course, Scooby and Shaggy have to distract the ghosts while everybody else is finding Captain Moody. And, hey, look, we have now trapped them in I don't know what the heck this machine is, but it is a mine machine of sorts. They've turned it on.
It's some sort of hopper.
Sure, I know what that means.
It's basically a big funnel, and then we go down and shoop, there they are.
Yeah, they go down. Somehow their disguises have disappeared. This is some Night of Fright is no delight bullshit.
It is.
Oh, it was all makeup. It just disappeared, of course.
And that's how they make them transparent. It's just a transparent makeup. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then they literally, like, fall into these, like, bags that they tie. And now we've caught these men. We've trapped them. So it was the nephews of Captain Moody who wanted to do something to him so that they could get the fortune. Now, I guess.
Yeah. What happened to the nieces? Who knows?
Maybe the nieces were like, "We'll wait. We want deniability."
They still only would have gotten a fourth of it each, is the thing. I feel like part 2 of your plan should have been to do away with the other people.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's just me.
Maybe the nieces were killed, and that's why they weren't there.
That's possible. But we don't know that.
We don't know. Different mystery.
Yep.
Yeah,
but we go back to the house. We have some food.
It's not poisoned.
That's not poisoned. Shaggy and Scooby get to eat the ridiculous sandwiches now. It's all good.
Yeah, it's great. And so the gang's like, we really have to go. We have to find this, like, lodge that we've been looking for this entire episode because we got lost. And Captain Moody's like, I can't give you directions. I haven't left my house in 20 years. What a mood, sir.
Relatable.
Moody.
Hey. And then Homer Pipsqueak is like, I haven't been there, so I can't tell you where it is. No idea. I haven't had a mystery there, so. But you know what? You've got Scooby, and Scooby can find anything. So there you go. You're fine.
There you go. That's how you'll find it. The lodge that you don't have anything that smells like it. It's fine.
It's fine.
Does anybody not have, like, a map of the area?
No, don't be silly.
He's a fucking captain. Send them a compass, at least.
I don't fucking know. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. So Charlie, what time is it?
Oh, it's terror time again. Hey, yo, let's do some trivia today. So, I'm so confused about this first piece of trivia, but it says Don Knott guest stars for the first time in this episode. He appears again later in The Spooky Fog of Juneberry, where he actually does play himself, which makes me think that maybe this isn't him, but I don't know. I think it's him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either Homer Pipsqueak is just a person who looks a lot like Don Knotts, or Don Knotts is Homer Pipsqueak and just putting on a show still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Either one's possible. Aside from Knott's 2 appearances in the new Scooby-Doo movies, he also lent his voice to the 2002 video game Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. He died, I don't like the way this is written, 9 months, 4 days, and 4 years later on February 24th, 2006.
That is not in order at all. Like,
no, it was year, month, day, not month, day, year. That's stupid.
What on earth?
Yeah, I hate it. It's gross. Blake, you want to take the next...
Sure. The next trivia is, when this episode was rerun in syndication or on cable, a 2-minute sequence was cut after Knox makes himself up as Phineas, where the gang is trying to find a secret passage, and then after sneezing from a small pile of dust, Scooby ends up in the fireplace facing up the flue, noticing a way out, and trying to convince the others that it's a secret passage. Said reruns of this episode would go from Knox admiring his Phineas getup to Scooby already climbing up inside the chimney. The scene is restored on home video and streaming releases of this episode. Thank God, because why else would Scooby be climbing up those chimneys?
Who the fuck knows?
Like, one of my favorite parts of the episode, how dare you take that away?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Knotts as Phineas mistakes Fred for Captain Moody's nephew, Ronald. Since his name had not been finalized yet, Fred was referred to as Ronnie in the storyboards for What a Night for a Night.
Interesting little callback there. This episode is a pun on the 1967 film Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, starring Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, and Spencer Tracy in his final film role. I don't know who two of those people are.
Yeah, I've heard of one of those.
A previous Don Knotts movie, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, had a plot resembling a typical Scooby-Doo scenario. A dim-witted but lovable protagonist is trapped in a haunted house, and his slapstick accidents manage to unmask the ghost as a cover-up for an ordinary criminal activity. So, Don Knotts gets it. Clearly.
Don Knotts certainly does. Also, according to, I was looking up the Scooby-Doo doors, at least according to this wiki, this episode is the first time we get the doors.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Love it. Love it so much.
Let's do our stuff.
Yeah. How are we... How many shenanigans do we get? What is the tally?
We have a tie for
no.
first place.
No, we don't.
Yes.
At a certain point, we just stopped saying, oh, that's a shenanigan. So I think, there were other shenanigans. Like, you didn't even count, him walking on air as a shenanigan, did you?
I actually did. I did count that.
I'm trying to think if there are any other shenanigans after that should have counted. I mean, the two ghosts. Did you not count the two ghosts as a shenanigan in and of itself?
No, I didn't actually. So now it is in first place.
Yay.
Because, the fact that there were two fucking ghosts and they were the same guy, a little ridiculous. Just saying.
Yeah, so now we have our first place with 25 shenanigans.
Hell yeah.
That's the number to beat. Can anything beat it? I don't know.
Not. I hope not. I love this episode. Lots of shenanigans.
Okay.
So good.
So, Blake, we decided to do something a little bit different. Instead of just saying, was this a good mystery, yes or no, we are rating the episode out of 5 Scooby Snacks, so you can think about that for a little bit. Charlie, do you have a rating?
I mean... Is this not just a 5 out of 5? Maybe I'm biased.
I am a fan of shenanigans and tomfoolery, but...
You know what? I'll give it a 4.5 because we had no characters in the episode. But for just the shenanigans and tomfoolery and how happy it makes me, it gets a 4.75.
I was going to go with a 4.5, so yeah, that's pretty solid there. Blake, what about you?
Yeah, in terms of Scooby-Doo mystery-esque, obviously that's not there, but the shenanigans brings it up a lot. So I guess just under 5 Scooby Snacks, missing a little sliver of a Scooby Snack.
Okay, so I'm gonna average those.
Okay.
Divide that by 3. 4.6 out of 5 is our average, which is actually lower than the previous episode. That's
How dare you? Somebody did this episode wrong.
Whose side are we on?
I'm on the side of Don Knotts.
Yeah, I'm on Don Knotts' side. Whatever the fuck he's doing.
Whatever side that is.
I feel like the answer this season of whose side are we on is going to end up being the guest.
That's what it's been episodes. For the 4 out of 5 episodes we've done so far.
Yeah. I mean, one of those was Alfred, and Alfred was not in the episode. So
3 out of 5. Fine.
There we go. Good shit. I love this episode. That's all I have to say.
Same. It's a great one.
And we certainly loved the last one so much too. So
we did.
I'm so glad that we had good times here.
Yeah, because Blake, the last one we did was guest starring Jonathan Winters, who was the guy who inspired Robin Williams.
Right, yeah.
So also just
fun stuff. Yeah.
Comedic person, hijinks galore.
It was beautiful.
It was wonderful. Amazing.
Maybe I was curious though, just a quick question. Is there were a lot of weird animation things in this episode. Is that indicative of this show as a whole? Because I feel like it was more than were in the original Scooby-Doo show.
Oh, it's so much during this show, I swear. New Scooby-Doo movies, I'm numb to it at this point. But the animation errors is just I feel like it's even worse in this show in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it makes it even better to me.
Indeed.
It's part of the joy.
It is part of the joy.
Would you like people to find you on the internet as we wrap up this episode?
Yes, you can find me on tumblr.com as Snake Fashion.
They're a wonderful bean. That's my buddy right there. That's my friend.
Indeed they are.
Okay. Well, y'all, we're gonna split up and look for clues for our next mystery. Bye!
Bye.
Bye!
You can follow this podcast socials at Mysteries in the Machine Pod on Instagram. You can send a message to our email, mysteriesinthemachinepod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Ethan, on Instagram and Threads at ethan.t.hewlin. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is going to be fun to edit later.
The real mystery is if Charlie will ever stop coughing.
The answer is no.
Oh, Charlie, you're editing this. Good luck, bud.
I can't wait.